I'm not going to hear you. I'm deaf as a post up here.
I have a clear question.
Yes.
About your fantastic wow sound in your solos. Can you run through?
Elaborate on that, yeah? Well, how long have we got? I think back in the 70s, there was a Jeff Beck, who's still my favourite guitarist of all time. Yeah, nobody can touch him. They get very close, but he just does it for me. You know, he's the guy that sends the hairs up and down, and this, you know, all that sort of stuff. You get that sort of emotion from his playing. But he had an album out called Truth, with Rod Stewart singing, funny enough, and to be honest, that's the best Rod Stewart ever sang in that band. It was a fantastic album. And there's wah wah all over it. He made it talk, he made it sing, he made it cry, he made it, you know, aggressive, he made it horrible noises, nice noises, all through the wah wah. And it touched a nerve with me, you know, and from that I ran straight out and walked. But this is for me, you know, it's still talking the way I... So eventually, you know, by getting into it, over the years, it's sort of grown on me and has become part of my style, if you like. And I use it in various ways. I mean, there's obviously the wah function, which is, you know, what it's built for. But I use it when I'm expressing, bending notes up. I put the wah down as well, and they kind of hit a lovely sweet spot. And so I use it that way. I mean, in Uriah Heep, we've got Hammond organ and bass over there. Very loud. Right, and they're taking up all them bass frequencies, you know, so when I'm playing one note solo things, it's very hard to cut through. So I use the wah wah as a little trailing cut through really as well. So it's kind of become everything I do. I mean, I sit down and play. It's really funny when in the studio I would do solos and things, and there's very few I haven't done without the wah wah of late. And you sit down with the producer, and he says, "Well, try it without the wah wah. You play a solo. Try it with the wah wah." He knows what one's best because it's expression. It's something that just works for me, you know. And so it's become a big part of it. In fact, I'm trying to market some shoes with wah wahs in. So I can walk around a wah wah or something. And I can be tall for once. No, but that's where it all came from. Yeah, Jeff Beck, God bless him.
Which wah wah are you using?
A standard Jim Dunlop, Guy Baby, yeah. Nothing special done to it at all. I don't think there's anything unique to do to it. He's got it right the first time, you know, and I've stayed with them for years and years and years. Funny enough, they've never sponsored me. They've never given me one for nothing. But I still use them, so that's testament indeed, isn't it? You know, I still use it and I buy them. Okay. Any more questions? Yes, mate.
What motivated you back in '68 when you started the band to make that new sound that became heavy metal alongside Black Sabbath?
Yeah.
And so on? Did you start out with the idea, or was it part of the creative process?
I think it was a bit of a revolution that was happening. You know, we were being rebels because prior to all those bands, it was very sweet melodies, sweet songs, sweet harmonies, people in suits and ties, little combos behind all doing little dance moves. You know, and we came out and we're not having any of that. We're knocking it on its head, you know. And we came out with the long hair, very rebellious, and you know, at the time we're using this today because it's a small room, but normally you're getting stacks and stacks and stacks, you know. And we kind of built it up though, and then the amps weren't loud enough, so we went and saw, God bless him, Jim Marshall, and he made bigger amps and bigger stages for us and you know, put into the amps so we had more valves, more volume, and it just ran away with itself, you know. But I think the most important thing in those days, and I have to say this, is that, and I think that's why the music has endured, is because every one of those people you mentioned, every person was an individual. You know, I mean, for instance, you've got, I didn't play like Richie Blackmore, Richie didn't play like Tony Iommi, I didn't play like, Paul Kossoff or any of those guys, you know. Everyone was individual, and so were the bass players, so were the keyboard players, so were the singers. And some of those parts gave every band their particular sound, you know, and I think that's very important. I think that's missing a bit today because it's like a jigsaw puzzle. In those days, you put that piece there and it would never fit because they were too individual. But nowadays, you can go like this and then everyone fits because they're all learning the same thing and there's no sort of individuals breaking through at the moment, you know, which is a shame. Because they go into guitar school, I'm going on a bit, sorry about this. You go into guitar school, right, and 2 years later you come out playing fantastic guitar, but you play like everyone else. There's been no attention in that learning process to the individual. And if I have to say anything to any guitarist to push them forward, is to try and find your own individual thing, you know, the thing that works for you, that stands you apart. And it doesn't have to be image all the time, you know, it can just be your sound and how you approach things, how you write things, you know. And I think that's why, you know, all those bands still around today and people still love their music. And thank you very much, because we are still around today. It's fantastic. Any more questions here, or should we move on? You want to go about the gear?
Your guitar, what kind of guitar is that?
Ah, there's the man, eh? Well, this is a Carparelli guitar.
What?
Carparelli.
Carparelli.
Really, yeah. You can get them on the website. And they're fantastic guitars. I'll tell you what it is. I've been a Gibson man all my life. Les Paul Customs and Black Beauties, and I love them. But the airlines don't love them as much as I do. And I used to get them out of gigs, and there'd be a broken, you know, tuning peg or a scratch somewhere, or this bent, or the pickup, you know, falling inside the guitar and stuff. So I was getting really frustrated about that. So I was looking for a company that I could work with. That, you know, the guitars were great. And I found this guy on the website, and I found out a guy called Mike Carparelli, and he sent me over one of the guitars. Now, I've been sent many guitars because people say, you know, in my position, I've been lucky enough, people say, well, you use our guitars, you know, so they give you them, you know, lovely, but they give them to you. But I usually say to my guitar tech, all right, I'll put it on for 2 numbers, then give me back the Gibson. and that happened many, many times with many guitars, and I won't go into other companies, but that's what it was to be. But I said the same thing to the Carparelli, and I kept it on for 3 weeks. And I said, I think I've found a replacement. And then I've been working with Mike Carparelli since then, and we have a very close relationship, and he's just knocking out a signature model for me, which will be in my home sometime next week, I think. And so it's really lovely, you know, and they're great guitars. They're made well. He's got a great heart. He does it with great feeling, you know. It's not just a machine happening over there, you know. He does it with deep feeling, which is great. So it works very well for me, you know. And strings, if you want to know about that, rotor sound strings, they're called rotor sound pink. Wasn't happy about the word pink. But they are great strings. Pickups, I do put an extra pickup in. I put the Jeff Beck trem bucker in here for this, and it just works really well with it. The spacings are just perfect for, you know, underneath the strings, where it allows the strings to be amplified in the correct way, which is really good. Right on guitar straps from Spain, you know, and on it goes, you know. But this is the whole, really. This is it, you know. We don't try and overcomplicate it. I don't try and get too many pedals on the floor, because you end up tap dancing instead of playing guitar. And I ain't a good dancer. My wife can contest to that. Anyway, if we move on to more music, one more song off of Outsider, 3 plugs, fantastic. I'm doing a good job here. Hope you go and buy it.